if you are tired of LeBron James and his overbearing wokeness, then I've got some great news for you. Won't have to deal with LeBron much longer because the Lakers are about to get bounced in the first round of the playoffs. The series with the Suns is all but over. I know it's tied 2-2, but it's over. Anthony Davis is one of the most overrated players in the NBA. Now, his talent's not overrated. Not talking about that. There's no denying his talent. AD's a walking double-double. But I told you guys before the playoffs that the Lakers were in trouble. They're in trouble because Anthony Davis can't stay healthy. This isn't a result of fatigue either. This has been the case his entire career. Anthony Davis is the most fragile player in the NBA. He can get hurt sitting on the bench. He'll be on IR for ass soreness from sitting on the bench for so long. The reality is, the Lakers cannot win in the playoffs without a healthy Anthony Davis, and LeBron James for that matter. But at this stage of his career, LeBron James, he can't carry a team like he could in the past. He doesn't have enough help in LA with Anthony Davis out. And Anthony Davis is out. Make no mistake about it. They're saying he's out just for Game 5, but even if he comes back for Game 6, it's not going to matter. He's not going to be fully recovered. The Lakers can't win with Anthony Davis putting up 6 points or 13 points. Not going to happen. So if you're tired of LeBron James, don't worry. He will be eliminated from the playoffs within the next week or so. Now, speaking of LeBron, when you think of LeBron James, what is one word that comes to mind? Equality. Equality, of course. He's always talking about equality. The NBA as a whole, the league presents itself as the equality league, the woke league. Everyone is equal. We're all equal. LeBron is the same as Jay Crowder. For the past year and a half, all the NBA has pushed is equality. They're not pushing basketball, they're pushing equality. I tell you guys all the time, there is no such thing as equality. Today, I'm going to prove that point to you, courtesy of Adam Silver and the NBA themselves. I say all the time that these wokers, they want to make rules and guidelines for you and I to follow, but they want to follow a different set of rules when it comes to them. The NBA has COVID-19 protocols that every player in the league is expected to abide by. If they break protocol, they get fined, they get punished. Earlier this year, we saw James Harden fined for violating the COVID protocols. Last week, both Kristaps Porzingis and LeBron James violated the NBA's COVID protocols. Porzingis, he went to a strip club, a big no-no right now if you're an NBA player. God forbid you enjoy yourself. Adam Silver wants his players to play basketball and go straight home. You know, because the COVID right now is so dangerous. Guess Adam Silver missed the memo. We have a vaccine now. Now, LeBron James, on the other hand, he broke protocol by attending a super woke tequila launch that was packed with woke Hollywood celebrities. Okay, so we have two NBA players in the same week that broke the same rule. According to the NBA's guidelines, there is no difference in going to a strip club or some woke Hollywood event. Both pose the same risk in terms of COVID. With the NBA being the league that's all about equality, both players should be given the same punishment, right? I mean, that would be the equal thing to do, the fair thing to do. The NBA, they're all about fairness, so this should be an easy decision for Adam Silver to make. Kristaps Porzingis was fined $50,000 for going to that strip club. LeBron James, nothing. He wasn't even given a slap on the wrist. He wasn't reprimanded. He wasn't fined. It's like it never even happened. Adam Silver gave LeBron a pass, another pass. Oh, his reasoning was great. See, these two situations were completely different according to Adam Silver in the NBA because the event that LeBron attended, not only was it woke, but everyone who attended was either vaccinated or tested negative for the COVID. Now, my question is, how does the NBA know this? Better yet, how do they know the strippers in the strip club weren't tested or vaccinated? When it comes to LeBron James, Adam Silver obviously practices blind faith. Just tell me everyone was vaccinated, LeBron, and I'll give you a pass. This just goes to show that once again, the NBA is hypocritical. Which, if you're woke, it is impossible to not be a hypocrite. It comes with the territory. Woke, hypocrite, same thing, same thing. It also proves that the NBA is only about equality when it fits their agenda. Adam Silver wasn't going to fine LeBron James. He's the face of the league. Porzingis, he's not even the star on his own team. I wouldn't classify Kristaps Porzingis as a role player, but he's not a superstar level player either. He doesn't have any name recognition outside of NBA circles, while LeBron James is a household name around the world. But none of that should matter. That shouldn't matter. If the NBA is really about equality, then LeBron James should have received the same punishment that was given to Kristaps Porzingis. Let me ask you this. What do you think would have happened if the roles were reversed? What do you think the reaction would have been from LeBron James or the woke sports media if Porzingis was given a pass and LeBron was fined for breaking the COVID protocols? Dude, it would have been a media firestorm. Stephen A. Smith would be crying racism on ESPN every morning. Adam Silver's racist. He's only fining LeBron because he's black. He gave Porzingis a pass because he's white. The media would have been all over that story. Instead, I haven't heard anyone in the media talking about this. The only person in the media who's mentioned it is Phil Mushnick over at the New York Post. Everyone else in the woke media acting like it never happened. Oh, but they did cover the story about white athletes not wanting to use black agents. Did you hear about that? According to Rich Paul, who's the agent for LeBron James, also one of his closest friends, white players don't utilize his services because he's black. Once again, the wokers are pulling the race card. Maybe white athletes don't use black agents because there aren't very many black agents. Did you ever think about that, Rich Paul? Or how about this? Maybe you don't represent many white players because there aren't many white players in the NBA. If I use your logic, let me borrow your logic here for a second, then the NBA is racist because it's a mostly black league. By the way, Rich Paul actually represents a white player, Jusuf Nurkic, who plays in Portland. But, Rich Paul says that's different because he's an international player, so he looks at things differently. Can Rich Paul really be this stupid? Can he be this stupid? This dude should be counting his blessings. He hit the lottery by meeting LeBron James in an airport back in 2002. Rich Paul's success is directly tied to knowing LeBron James. If he didn't know LeBron, then he would still be broke selling jerseys out of the trunk of his car. But it gets better. It gets better. I pulled all of this from Rich Paul's interview with the New Yorker, by the way, just in case you guys want to go over there and check it out. I don't recommend it, but if you want to read up on it, that's where I got all this from. Now, during the interview, the infamous decision was brought up. Back in 2010, after the decision aired on ESPN, Bill Simmons, who was actually working at ESPN at the time, he was highly critical of the entire spectacle. He pointed out the fact that LeBron referred to himself in the third person 5 times during the interview, or the broadcast, I should say, and basically called LeBron James a narcissist. Bill Simmons blamed LeBron's inner circle for even allowing the decision to happen, and also said that the lack of a father figure in LeBron's life could also be to blame. Now, I'm not sure I completely agree with that, but whatever. Bill Simmons is entitled to his opinion. I'm not a psychologist, so what the hell do I know? What I do know? Nothing Bill Simmons said regarding the decision had anything to do with LeBron's race. had anything to do with race, period. Unless you're Rich Paul. Here is what Rich Paul said about Bill Simmons' comments. Quote, "That's why I don't speak to Bill Simmons. A lot of that has to do with race, too. He wouldn't have said that about Larry Bird. He wouldn't have said that about J.J. Redick. The decision 10 years ago is the norm today. It's what everyone wants to do. Kids won't even decide where they go to college without it being a big production." End quote. These wokers never cease to amaze me. What the hell does race have to do with any of this? The decision happened over 10 years ago. Never once in all of that time have I heard anyone say it had anything to do with race. The criticism of it, anyway. Rich Paul's right about one thing. Bill Simmons never would have said that about J.J. Redick. You know why? Because when J.J. Redick gets traded, no one gives a damn. No one cares. Rich Paul says the decision broadcast from 10 years ago is the norm today. No, it's not. It's not. Please tell me one other player in the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, UFC, take your pick. Tell me one other player that's had an entire hour on ESPN to announce where they were going to be playing the next season. Name one. The only time it has ever happened is with LeBron James. If Larry Bird or J.J. Redick did the same thing that LeBron did with the decision, I guarantee you they would have received the same criticism. It's not about race. It is about LeBron James's actions. People didn't criticize the decision because LeBron's black. They criticized it because it was ridiculous. People are fed up with being preached to about race. Enough is enough. Does racism exist in America? Yes. Is there anything that you can do about it? No. Most people in America are not racist, but most people in America are tired of hearing about race. These wokers are constantly making everything about race. It's a myth. It is a tactic used to keep the country divided so the woke politicians can remain in power. I don't want to dive into a political tangent today, so let's just leave it there. Time for you guys to let me know what you think. What is your opinion on the NBA fining Kristaps Porzingis for violating the COVID protocols, but doing nothing to LeBron James? What are your thoughts on Rich Paul bringing up comments Bill Simmons made over 10 years ago and making it about race? Sound off in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.